basically the movie's about as a young girl in a working class neighborhood in Boston who the mother steps out and the girl disappears. It becomes a big media case, you know, a big sensation because the girl is, you know, very sort of idyllic, innocent looking, and the neighborhood is so tough. After 3 or 4 days, the police kind of get nowhere with it, and the girl's aunt hires this young, kind of 30-year-old local PI guy who's never really had any more experience than like hunting down people who defaulted on their jet ski loans to find someone, you know.
Okay, cool. What did you like? Where did the idea come from? Only because your brother answered that question yesterday, and I got the so where did the idea come from?
The idea came from. The idea came from a book. The idea came from a book. The book is called "Gone Baby Gone." It's written by Dennis Lehane, and that's where I got it. And so I decided, well, I'll adapt that. And I thought maybe I'd be in it first, and then I thought, you know, I'd rather direct something, and so I decided to adapt it to direct it.
Okay, the film. Watching the film, it's full of tension, right? Like, definitely full of tension. How important was the novel in developing the mood and the tone?
It was definitely a critical factor, you know, but to me, I guess developing that, you know, I mean, it was a dark book. It had this sort of tension to it. I think the biggest part of that was sort of the actors and the selling the reality to it. The sort of, you know, making everything real was the most critical aspect to it, because if you believed that, then you feel that tension. If any of that fell away, it would just seem false and artificial, and then you'd completely kind of lose any tautness.
Cool. Talk about the actors, yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me about your cast. How did you pick the cast? Did your brother have to audition for his role, or was it like, hey man?
My brother did not have to audition. I cast my brother once they decided to make the role younger. My brother was really the only choice. He's a brilliant actor and made a lot of sense for the part. We were lucky to have him, and we had great actors. You know, Morgan Freeman, Ed Harris, Michelle Monaghan's fabulous, Titus Welliver, Amy Madigan, Amy Ryan, who got nominated for an Academy Award. And then we had all these local actors who were non-professionals, who just were like kind of people off the street who we worked with, and were kind of to get flawless sort of reality kind of performances from, all of whom made me look like a much better director than I really am, because they just made the movie feel so real. And I always knew that the one thing that could kind of sell, I always felt like the one thing that makes movies good is acting, and so that's where I focused my attention.
Right, so it had nothing to do with your direction at all, no?
No, mostly it was the acting.
You're from round there, aren't you? Did that help? Did that help the whole...
I think so, yeah, because, you know, if you're from a place, you kind of know what's real and what isn't. If you walk in there from outside, you're a little bit at a loss for, well, I don't know, is this how they do it here? Is this how they do it here? But because I knew the place, I knew the people, I kind of knew what they would wear, I knew what the inside of the houses would look like, I knew what the mother who was on a little bit of drugs might be like, and you know what I mean, the whole, like, how it wouldn't be that over the top and crazy, and if you know the nuances of that stuff and the details of the reality, people respond to that. When an audience responds to that, even if they don't know a place in specific, like I wouldn't know a part of London necessarily, but if you did it right and authentic for me, there's a part of me that would know that it was real watching it.
And what are the audiences? What would you say to audiences queuing up to go and see this movie? What should they?
I guess I would say to audiences that were going to see the movie, you know, that it's definitely be prepared to be a little patient. It's a movie that's kind of provocative and makes you think. It's very dark, and it's a serious movie, but it's very kind of intense, and it's one that will hopefully cause them to, I hope, examine their own ways of thinking about some of the issues that are raised in the movie.
And finally, what film changed your life and why? Needed to get this one in.
Malcolm X changed my life because I saw that movie and I thought to myself, I should be a better person than I am.